Paratroops are a rather new type of soldier. Most of it was all infantry, just regular infantry, but something, you know, glamorous about jumping out of an airplane. I'd never been in an airplane before. We got $50 extra when you made your jump, but I don't think any of us thought about the $50. It was just a bonus. There's me, Klein. There's Jacob Wingard. Jacob was my closest friend in the service. We came in about the same time. He came in from Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, and I came in from Ohio. He and I had the same bunk next to each other, and we just hit it off. And so for as long as I knew him, he and I were excellent friends. We jumped the same time in Normandy. So after D-Day, we went back to England and did more training, getting ready for another jump. So it wasn't finally until September that they came up with the Market Garden. It was a beautiful flight. I was able to stand in the door, and so I remember going out of the plane, and when my chute opened, I looked around, parachutes all around. And so we got in the ground, and so a small city called Veckel. And then there's a little hamlet, a little town outside of Veckel called Erida. And that was our objective. What you basically did, the paratroopers secured this road, each side of the road, so that the British tanks and British infantry could come up and move up to Nijmegen and then into Arnhem. So the next day, on the 18th, we went in there. They had a windmill, and we used that as an OP, our observation post. Jake stood in the window of the windmill and estimated the distance to fire the mortars. And he gave a fire order. Then he stepped in the window to see where the shells were hitting so he could make an adjustment. I was probably 6-7 feet away from him. And he turned to me. Unfortunately, a German rifleman picked him off, and that was it. He was probably the best liked man in our platoon. I never heard anyone say a bad word about him. If I could stand in front of his grave and say something, it'd probably be, "You didn't die in vain." If any country that you had to die in would be Holland. Holland, the one country that has always showed their gratitude, and invariably will say, "Hey, we thank you for liberating us. We'll never forget." Well, here we are 73 years later, and it's true, they haven't forgotten.